3 different logos for 3 different games. I'm impressed. King's Quest III to Heir is Human. So I believe this version of the game is called King's Quest III Redux. I don't fully understand the history behind it at this point in time. If I learn more while I'm playing, I'll let you know. But yeah, this is the third and final VGA remake that AGD Interactive did for the King's Quest series. They stopped here, they did not do King's Quest IV, which is still in EGA, and after that, 5 and 6 are VGA by Sierra. As per the previous games, these are basically as official as they can possibly be without being developed by Sierra. They had the go-ahead from Sierra's publisher to create these games, so the name is used with permission, but they're obviously not created by Sierra. Alright, so let's take a look. Thrice now I curse, and from the first, your family shall feel the worse. Soon shall you see, they'll surely be in the most dire jeopardy. Then as your foe, 'tis I who'll sow the spell to cause your heart to slow. And for my shame, for you the same, over Daventry your heirs shan't reign. Those hands. I assume that's Manannan. It could be the father, but from what we played previously, I think it was implied that Manannan stole the babies directly. And from that point forward, the magic mirror was clouded.
Gwydion. Gwydion.
That is definitely not how I pronounced your name in the EGA version. Ooh, we are not allowed up here. The jetty, the nets, the town, the store, the tavern. The spider cave? I assume that is the oracle. Yeah.
Gwydion, what are you doing, boy?
That's the pronunciation that I used.
I was just looking.
How dare you take leave of your duties? Resume your chores immediately.
Yes, Mananin. Master.
Had your parents survived your wretched infancy, the sight of your sloth alone would have killed them.
They would not have been proud of me.
No, but fate has favored you. Few orphaned youths can know such fortune. You are lucky to be here to serve me.
I am very lucky.
Oof.
Indeed. Now get to work.
Brainwashed. Stockholm Syndrome? Whatever the phrase is. It looks a lot less blue than the original. Talking about the house here, not the sky.
Such is the story of young Gwydion's life to this point. What's a poor boy to do? Oh well, in resignation, Gwydion obediently follows Mananin into the house.
It begins. Alright, so let me just make a save. So, where do I start? Editing this in, I forgot to do this at the very start. What do we have in the menu here? King's Quest III Redux to Heir is Human 1.1. Original by Roberta Williams. Game redesigned by Daniel Stacey. Original music by Brandon Bloom and Tom Lewandowski. The AGI version of King's Quest III to Heir is Human was created in 1986 by Sierra Online. That was the EGA version that we just played. This remake was created in 2011 by AGD Interactive. According to the website, it was worked on many years before that, but this version was indeed released in 2011. Used with permission. If you have any queries about this game, please do not put them in the comments. Please put them on the forums. If you enjoy this game, please try the originals by Sierra and also play the other games in the King's Quest series. That is sage advice. That's very curious. About and AGS lead to exactly the same place. Okay, so now that's done, I can cut back into the original playthrough. Just from that intro, it looks like nothing has really changed. We were kidnapped as a young boy, a 1-year-old, and we find ourselves here, in this house with this cruel old wizard. We're basically his slave. I did play for about 5 minutes just to make sure that everything is working and all is well. I've got to criticize this game right off the bat because look at this interface up here. I don't know if it's just me, but that looks dreadful, and if you bring the icons down, they are animated.
The old wizard looks at you menacingly.
The chickens need to be fed. See to it at once.
Alright, so let's go feed the chickens, and I'll turn the music down just a fraction. The icons are animated, and it looks like they are constantly animated here. I've played many adventure games where what happens is you roll the icon over a hotspot and then it animates, or something like that, but these ones just seem to be animated for the sake of being animated, and I'm not certain that this is a good thing, to put it bluntly. Hopefully I'll get used to it. Alright, so let's take a look around Ludor.
Ludor stretches below you.
I got the pronunciation correct!
A tree grows bravely near the wizard's house.
No mention of Ludor was made in the intro, so yeah, I just went with what I thought sounded correct.
The wizard's mansion has been your home, life, and world. The views are better from the other side, but that doesn't mean you enjoy them. These rocks are unsurprising. Manannan's dark house perches like a bird of prey atop the mountain. A steep path winds its way to the base. Potential meals meander about the coop.
That's one way of describing them, I guess.
The hatch is home for the hens and comes complete with a supply of chicken feed.
We need to use that to feed the chickens.
It's the gate to the chicken coop. When closed, the coop does its job well. The hens peck their way around the coop. The views. Ludor. A tree.
I don't think we're guessing anything else.
Manannan's. The way in. For many, its role ends there. The wizard's mansion.
Yeah, I assume Gwydion does not know anything about this wizard's past, and the other people who have served underneath him.
Your hands are grubby enough. No need to dirty them further by rubbing them on your clothes. There are easier ways into your bedroom. They don't open. The stone walls feel cold and unwelcoming. It's further away than you think. Try opening both eyes.
Harsh.
That's too hard.
Okay, let me just test the timer very quickly. If I speed up the game, the timer does not speed up. Lovely.
Where would you put it? You are not close enough.
Yeah, I can definitely grab one of those and pluck a feather, I think, but I'm not going to just yet. Maybe later. For now, let's be a good boy and have a look around the house.
This is the main entry room of the wizard's house. The front door is to the south. Creaky stairs go upstairs, and doorways lead north and east.
It's kind of crazy how much of the text is actually identical to the original EGA version.
It's a painting of the wizard from long ago. You wonder if he was ever young. You need to get closer. This is Manannan's detestable pet. The stairway leading to the first floor has wide steps. Several are very creaky, and you've always tried to avoid them. The stairway leads. The wizard gives you an evil glare.
Can't do anything.
This is the 3 doors lead outside to the kitchen and to the wizard's study. This is the 3 doors. This candle helps light your way up the passage. You are not close enough.
We won't go for that just yet either.
Ow! You burnt your fingers. The light of your life won't be found in this place. Ow! The room is cold, empty, and entirely unwelcoming. The room is cold. You need to get closer.
Can I vandalize the place?
You move the picture frame to one side, but find nothing behind it. No getting out that way. You know you've tried it. You've been taunted your entire life by the incredible views from this house.
I'm not sure why we would try going out that window when we can just go out the front door.
You scrutinize the moose head carefully. While it is long past its grazing days, you feel sorry for the poor old thing. This is where Manannan eats his meals. You, of course, are not supposed to eat here. You eat in the kitchen. There is a pine table and benches large enough to seat at least 10 people. But the wizard has never had any guests for dinner. Candles flicker from the wrought iron lamp.
The cup is on the table.
You can see most of the countryside of Ludor from this vantage point. This is where Manannan would place his potted plants, if he had any, along with a smidgen less detest for anything that grows. The large dining table is made of pine planking. Matching benches run its length on both sides. The table is big enough to seat at least 10 people, though you doubt it's accommodated more than 1/10 of that.
Yes.
A tin cup has been left on the table. Manannan was not pleased to be served blackroot juice in anything other than his chalice heirloom.
I don't suppose we can find the chalice heirloom? Probably not.
The perfect servant, aren't you?
We have points.
This is just a simple metal cup with a handle. There's nothing inside to drink.
All right, anything here?
There are various bottles and bowls on the shelf. You scrutinize. The moose head is securely fastened to the wall. You cannot remove it. Pour the bottles in a bowl. Swirl and swallow it down whole. Let the contents slosh and roll. Feel the liquid warm your soul.
If that's a reference, I do not recognize it.
Manannan helps himself to his own beverages, and intoxication isn't your thing.
Yeah, we're only 17.
Manannan
We're not allowed to drink yet, I think. I'm not sure what the legal drinking age in Ludor is, chat. If you happen to know, let me know in the comments, please.
A loaf of bread, freshly baked.
The fruits.
An apple and some grapes grace the kitchen table.
And the mutton.
A leftover piece of mutton.
There's our blue bowl, and there's our other stuff.
This is the kitchen of the wizard's house. Other than your own bedchamber, this is the only place in the house that you feel you can call your own. The wizard rarely enters the kitchen. On cold days, the fireplace is a cozy place to sit. There are drying herbs and spices hanging here. The fireplace is not used during the summer. Manannan insists that you clean it regardless, and frequently.
If it's not being used, I wouldn't expect it to get that dirty.
It's just your old tin bucket. You use the heavy oak table when you prepare food for the wizard. You're quite familiar with it. You see a chop of mutton, some fruit, and a loaf of bread lying on the table. There's nothing under the table, and it's far too heavy to shift. You take the fruit and carry it with you. You take the loaf of bread and carry it with you. You take the mutton chop and carry it with you.
Right.
The fruit consists of an apple and some grapes. They look sweet, fresh, and juicy. You love the smell of freshly baked bread. This is a leftover mutton chop that the old wizard hadn't finished. It still looks appetizing, though.
I'll try the hand icon later. I don't want to accidentally eat them.
There's no hole in this bucket. Why bother with it?
Oh.
The wizard's glare makes you suddenly feel very, very small.
I have decided to take a journey.
Already! And the timer just turned green. I did have a very brief look at the manual before starting this, and I didn't read it too much because I didn't want spoilers. But I did see that the time can turn different colours: green, yellow, and red. And I assume that means green, it's safe to snoop. Yellow is watch out, and red is, yeah, you're probably up shit creek very shortly unless you get back to the house immediately. Alright.
As it is summer, the need for a fire and cooked food is diminished.
Manannan has left the building.
As it is
I did not need to do that. I'm wasting valuable time. So having wasted about 13 seconds there, let's undo that.
Your wooden serving spoon is hanging on the rack. Your trusty knife is hanging on the rack. Near the fireplace is a crude broom made of straw. Your muscles ache as you recall the long hours spent churning butter.
Oh, do not get me started on that. I've got some bad memories of butter churners from Journeyman Project 3.
The barrels contain grain and other foodstuffs. The barrels contain... The kitchen shelf holds many ingredients and implements for cooking. There are pots, pans, and skillets hanging on the wall beside the fireplace.
Let's grab the pot.
Your mixing bowl is lying on the shelf.
Oh, sorry.
Many chores lie in wait upon those shelves. There's no fun to be had with these barrels. You are not in the mood for cooking at the moment. In other words, Manannan hasn't ordered you to do any. You retrieve the clay bowl from the kitchen shelf and take it with you. You take the carving knife from the iron rack and keep it with you. You take the wooden spoon from the iron rack and keep it with you. The clay bowl has been your favorite bowl for years. The knife is big enough and sharp enough to carve a large roast. This is a wooden kitchen spoon.
Is time actually passing when I'm in the inventory? It is, look at that. Although it's going slower.
Combining these...
That's kind of crazy.
You don't feel like sitting down and taking a bite. Maybe later. You don't feel... You run your finger along the inside of the bowl to check for leftovers. The knife feels really sharp. You wipe the spoon against your clothes.
Why would you do that? That's kind of disgusting, dude. Alright. Let's take a look upstairs. Let's snoop. I'll come back down there because if it's the same as the first game, there is going to be a key upstairs. I may as well go for that first.
There is a small drawer in the front of the mahogany vanity. It is an oval mirror. Obviously, Manannan has never looked into it, as it isn't cracked from side to side.
Jesus.
There is a small drawer. A bottle with a green leaf stopper contains some cat mint.
That's different.
It's a lovely handheld mirror. Manannan's a vain old codger, isn't he?
So yeah, if I pick this up, is he going to know that it's missing?
Presumably, these are Manannan's reading glasses. You've never seen him read. He spends most of his time watching the townspeople, or you. A bottle with a cat's head on it. Manannan must be allergic to cats.
I don't think so.
A comb, perfectly suited for the maintenance of long facial fleece.
Alright, what can we grab?
Your breath smells fine. You take the wizard's hand mirror.
I assume that glow means it's illegal.
The mirror is set in a round oak frame with a long handle. You peer into it and see your rather dirty but handsome face. You attempt to wipe the mirror clean with your sleeve. You're not really successful. You have excellent eyesight. Besides, they wouldn't suit you. Perhaps in a few years, when you've worn out that soft down presently posing as stubble. So far, you're allergy-free. There's nothing of interest in that part of the drawer.
Okay.
It is clear why Manannan picked this spot to build his house. You doubt even the excellent morning view puts the wizard in a good mood, though. It's the wizard's chamber pot.
Let's not touch that.
Manannan spends his nights in that bed. That he does so alone and for so long as you've lived here would amuse you if your situation weren't identical. You'd rather sleep on a bed of nails. Manannan keeps a window open. This is just as well. His chamber pot is almost always full. Manannan spends his night.
Do we have a chamber pot?
A small bedside candle sits beside the bed. Manannan uses it for reading late into the night. He never seems to run short when it comes to his own candles.
We've never seen him read, but he uses that candle to read. Gossip.
No need to snuff it. It's not lit.
Alright, anything in here?
You see a black cloak hanging in the closet. The back of the wizard's closet is too dark to see clearly. The back of the wizard's closet is too dark to see clearly. The wizard's blue peaked hat sits in the bottom of the closet. The wizard's red hat is resting in the bottom of the closet. The back of the wizard's... This is one of the wizard's linen gowns. This is one of the You see a black cloak hanging in the closet. You search the pockets of the black cloak. Suddenly you discover a small brass key. What could it unlock?
That's different. The key was on top of the cabinets in the EGA version.
The small brass key is brightly polished. As you run your finger along the key, you notice a layer of dust coming off.
Ooh.
The wizard probably doesn't use it very often.
If that's the same, it unlocks the cabinet downstairs to get to the magic wand, then that's actually really curious. Speaking of really curious, is there something else in here?
The back of this. You search behind the clothes hanging in the wizard's closet. You're startled to discover an ancient parchment scroll. Its ink has faded, but it seems to be a map. Taking this treasure, you leave everything else exactly as it was. The magic map's ink has faded away. So far, it isn't much help. You can't use your map here.
It's our map now. Okay, it looks like I can't open the drawer underneath. That thing there.
The closet is fashioned of ornately carved mahogany. The closet, a pitcher of water serves to wash, replenish, and receive a mouthful of expectorant.
I don't know what that word means.
You're not sure what to make of this. Manannan has unique aesthetic tastes. It is a simple dresser containing Manannan's unmentionables. The thought of those conjures many memories of washing them. It is a simple... You don't like the look of that place. You'd rather not touch it.
That place or that painting?
You don't like the look of that place. You refilled it this morning.
Do we have rose petal essence in here?
Chocolate creams. No, wait a minute. They're chocolate-coated insects. Yuck! 3 vials contain small quantities of hair, all in different colors. That's odd. They're all labeled Gwydion.
Oh, geez. So this wasn't in the EGA version. This is something that they mentioned in the VGA remake of King's Quest II. Every slave that Manannan has owned is named Gwydion. And presumably with these vials here, he's taking samples of their hair for reasons. Hopefully there's like a magical reason, because if that's just vanity or whatever, that's horrifying.
It's a bottle of rose petal essence.
We need that.
A blue bottle labeled with a V. Given local topography, you're guessing it stands for vertigo. Manannan must have a little trouble with heights. You don't have a problem with heights. Not one you'd admit to.
I can think of one other word that starts with V. I'd rather not say what it is right now though.
They're of no use to you. You've never wanted to smell like a rose, but... 3 vials contain... There's nothing of in...
That's fucked.
There's...
I don't think we're getting anything else out of here, unless there's something under the rug.
A rectangular rug has been laid out to welcome Manannan's feet each morning. You feel for it. A rectangular... Nothing under the carpet, except the dust you've swept there.
What's about underneath here?
Manannan's The dress...
No, it's just gonna open that up. Alright. Let's take a look upstairs. Do we have a fly? We do now. Also, I need to come back for you in a moment.
It's a fly. and it's dead. You have entered the musty tower of the old wizard's house. A polished brass telescope is directed out a window. From here, Manannan spies upon the poor occupants of Ludor. You have entered To the right of the desert begins the fertile land of Ludor. Bandits have been known to hide out there, so watch out. On our left, we have the beautiful Ludorian desert, featuring miles and miles of endless sand. Don't go wandering too far.
Yeah, if we go past the first screen, we're not coming out, ever.
To the right,
Unless we can teleport.
the scenery and sounds of the river-soaked woodlands, a must for any journeyer. Mind you, stay away from our 8-legged friends. We grow them big around here.
Hopefully they've removed the eagle RNG.
Finally, the port town and ocean, the best way to arrive and the only way you'll leave. You see nothing on the dusty floor but a dead fly. You have entered. It's a fly, and it's dead.
Let's take it.
You pick up the dead fly and drop it into your hand. Disgustedly, you look at it.
It's not an illegal item.
The little vial of rose petal essence has a delicate, sweet aroma. You're not certain why you're carrying around something as disgusting as a dead fly.
Spell ingredients, bro.
You don't think it'd taste as good as it smells. Picking off its wings, you throw the rest away.
Okay, those are illegal.
The fly wings are remarkably beautiful for having come from such a disagreeable insect.
Interesting.
The well-polished brass telescope is used by Manannan to keep tabs on the citizens of Ludor. You put your eye to the glass. It amazes you how near everything seems. You could even see squirrels climbing faraway trees. No wonder the wizard knows of all activities in Ludor.
We got to actually look out during the intro, but we don't get anything there.
You can see most of the countryside of Ludor from this vantage point. The window is shut. It's as pointless to crawl out as it would be to call out. This hallway is on the second floor of the old wizard's house. There are 2 stairways here. Adjacent to them are 2 doors, both leading to, thankfully, separate bedrooms. This stairway leads to the tower above. The steps are steep and narrow. This stairway leads to the landing below. It's wider than its counterpart, but rather creaky. You have always admired this lovely tapestry. It's one of the few bright spots in this dreary house. You lift the bottom of the tapestry and peer behind it. The wall is filled with cracks. You can see why Manannan would hang such a tapestry here. There are also dozens of charcoal drawings, diagrams, maps, and notes to programmers with the legend of King's Quest IV.
Again?
But you're uninterested in this, since you presently have your hands full with King's Quest III. You lower the tapestry and smooth out the wrinkles.
They did not change that at all. Okay, our bedroom.
This is your own pitiful bedchamber. Compared to Manannan's fine room, yours is almost a cell. The bed is hard and uncomfortable, with only a threadbare blanket and a small, flat pillow. The other furnishings are junk, but as poor as it is, it's your haven, as the wizard never enters it.
Never.
You look into the cracked mirror hanging on the wall. Your reflection shows a tall, handsome lad dressed in dirty rags. Your dresser is a piece of junk. It's full of nicks and scratches, and one drawer is completely missing. This is the other. You have nothing of any interest in your dresser drawer. You run your fingers along the smooth, unbroken part of the mirror. No chance of stepping through the looking glass today. The bed is nothing more than a cot, hard and cold and difficult to sleep on. Your pillow is small and flat, as it is made of old rags. The window provides a peek and a promise of the freedom you've longed for. Your bedside candle occupies the window ledge.
Okay, let me make a save. And have a snooze. Oh, look at that. Time is passing. I mean, yes, we still have to wait around for a bit. Oh. That was quick. He came back from his journey very quickly. And we're dead.
You'll create no magic around me, Gwydion.
Looks like you were caught red-handed.
Indeed, and we are now just a pile of ash. Okay, that's a very welcome change. If we need to wait in the house, I can go to sleep.
The bed is not...
And time will pass a bit quicker. So if I just interact with the bed, time pauses. I can go hide and retrieve. Ooh. Okay, time is passing now. I can either go hide all or...
You get on your hands and knees and quickly shove all your possessions under the bed. They will be safe from the wizard's sharp eyes there. Dropping to your hands and knees, you reach under the bed and retrieve all of your possessions.
Okay. That looks easy enough. We get points for hiding stuff there. It looks like 4 points. I don't need to do that right now, though. Actually, can I interact with the candle? I did not check.
It's not the kind that opens. Manannan made sure of that. As it's broad daylight, you don't need it.
Not yet, anyway. Okay, where's his cat? I need to perform at least one active animal abuse before I can close off this video. I wonder if he takes the cat with him.
This is Manannan's detestable pet.
Come here, you.
You are not close enough.
Oh, God.
You've cleaned... The despicable cat slips away from your grasp with a fierce scratch to your arm. The despicable cat... Nimbly, you grab the nasty cat by the scruff of its neck, avoiding its needle-sharp claws. And now that you have it, what are you going to do with it? You manage to pluck some fur before he viciously scratches and leaps from your arms. With grim satisfaction, you survey your wounds.
We have cat fur.
You hold a small ball of black cat fur in your hand. You run the fur between your fingers for a second.
Can I continue to mistreat the cat? Come here, you.
You've cleaned... The despicable... You are not... You are not... You take a moment's respite at the table, then decide you haven't the time.
We can sit at the table. I wonder if that was a thing in the EGA version. If so, I did not find it. Oh, shit. Once again, I'm a dog person, chat.
You are not...
Oh, I'm not close enough.
That is... You are not...
I am close enough, damn it.
The despicable...
Yep, alright.
You've cleaned up...
Enough. Nobody saw that. Let's go check out the wizard's study.
This is Manannan's private study. A huge oak desk sits covered with writing implements, and a chart covers the wall behind it. A cabinet takes up residence in the corner, while two massive bookshelves fill themselves with every subject. The wizard fancies himself the scholar. From here, the countryside of Ludor beckons the would-be traveler. Even if you could get the window open, the wizard has bars over it. You're not sure, but it could be a chart. Then again, perhaps not. The chart is firmly attached to the wall.
What of the desk?
The massive desk is made from oak. The wizard does all his reading, writing, and arithmetic here. You open the desk's only drawer, but you see nothing interesting.
Same as the first game.
It's your feather duster.
Right, we're not touching that.
The oak cabinet has a brass handle on its door. Your feather duster is lying on its top.
Can I open it with the key?
You try to turn the handle, but the door is locked. You try...
Okay, so does that mean I need to unlock it and relock it every single time?
You unlock the oak cabinet using the brass key.
I'm very worried about that.
There is nothing interesting in that area of the cabinet. It's the wizard's magic wand. Inside, you find the wizard's magic wand. You take it with you, knowing it could mean death if he finds it missing.
Ivory?
The magic wand is cool and smooth to the touch, and creamy white in color. You think it may be fashioned from ivory.
He remains a piece of shit. So we don't need that yet, but I may as well just grab it now and see what happens.
So many books line the bookshelf, you wonder when Manannan has time to read them all. Titles cover many subjects from ancient Arabic mythology to A Study of the Heavens to the philosophies of Socrates. So many books line
That hissing.
2 boxes rest on top of the bookshelves. Unfortunately, you are too short to reach the boxes.
That's different.
You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Black, the Ultimate Fashion Statement.
No lies detected.
You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Secretly Secluding Servants for a Lifetime of Service and Servitude.
It's probably just some fan fiction that he's reading.
You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled 1001 Unlikely Uses for Cheese. You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Ancient Wisdom, The Legacy of Our Forebears. It seems to be a record of all known information regarding the original inhabitants of the known world. It is a notably thin book. You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Wither the Weather or Wedding the World, an anthology of meteorological spells. You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Lifestyles of the Weird and Wicked.
Is that a song reference?
You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Guide to Maintaining a Healthy Beard. You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a series of magazines entitled Wizarding Weekly. This week's edition includes tips on keeping your hat pointy. You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Levers and Bookcases, a Traditional Connection. You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Telescopes and Other Spying Devices. You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Mystical Misconceptions. You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled The 40 Most Inappropriate Uses of a Magic Map.
I can tell you right now, I can think of a 41st.
You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Tyrannical Totalitarianism. You scan the book...
Are we looping now? Okay, so I don't think it matters where I fiddle with the bookshelves here. We're going to get the same things every time. I do not see the book in the lever.
You scan the bookshelf for interesting titles and find a book entitled Levers and Bookcases, a Traditional Connection.
We're looking right here, so it should be here somewhere.
So many books.
But just doing some pixel hunting, I don't see it.
This
And just looking at the floor here, I don't see anything in the floor that would portray a trapdoor.
is Manana. You scan.
Yeah, okay, we can't get into the lab just yet. I suppose I should go lock up the wand, shouldn't I? I think I will. I'll go back inside in a sec. Hey, fellas.
You are not where the chicken dodges your grasp. The chicken, where would you put it? Where the chicken dot where would
This is the literal definition of
would you
pixel
put
hunting.
it? Where would you you are not
What if I should feed them first, if the game lets me?
your hands are grubby in the chicken dot the chick the chick the chick the ch- the ch- the ch- the where
Okay, there's more to this very clearly. I should have RNG'd it at some point there. Let's feed them. And that may give me the opportunity to grab them while they are distracted. I did not have to do that on the original though.
you pick up the chicken. You gently pluck a feather from the chicken and gently set it back on the ground.
Gently, gently.
The chicken feather is small and light, no more than a piece of fluff. When closed, where would you...
Okay, so unless I'm missing something around the house, maybe something around the back, I'll check that in just a moment. I think I've done everything that I can do here for now. I'll take a look at the map shortly. Right now I want to lock up this wand. So I do not know how to get down to the lab.
So it's the wizard's wastebasket. Don't you remember? You emptied it yesterday.
There's nothing in there. Those boxes look sus.
You carefully replace the magic wand exactly as you found it. The cabinet door locks as you shut it.
There we go. Alright, so all I need to worry about now is all of the stuff that I'm carrying. I just need to get back up to the bed and hide it. If I look at the map,
You pull out your magic map.
what do I see? Absolutely nothing. Alright, so let's go for a walk. Are you friendly?
An eagle sits in its nest, tilting its head as it eyes you warily. The world beyond the only life you've known begins here.
I would think that an eagle would be... It's cliche, but eagles I think will be noble enough to not work with Manannan.
Manannan's mountain dominates the sky. The precarious path winds around Manannan's mountain. Watch your step. Manannan, an eagle sits in it. As you speak, the eagle shifts defensively. It doesn't trust you.
We live with Manannan. It has no reasons to trust us. What is this?
It's a protruding part of the precipice. That's an empty-handed offering. Think it'll let you pat it? Want to bet your hand?
Yeah, nah. I wonder if I can jump off there later.
The precarious path winds around Manannan's mountain. Watch your step. The land of Ludor spreads before you, promising a world of opportunity. Manannan's mountain dominates the sky.
I don't think we're getting anything here.
The precarious. There's an easier way, and you're standing on it. Get it when you get there.